Friends, today we are going to discuss the third part of the program, uh, how to actually draft a patent for filing. In earlier lectures, we have covered what are the general rules, what is a patentable invention, and in lecture 2, we covered what are all the forms applicable, how to actual filing procedures, and what are the steps. Today, we are going to discuss an actually drafting part of it, which is highly technical in nature. This is a disclaimer that even though accuracy of the information kept in these slides were ensured, institute is not responsible for any fault. Yeah. So, and just recapping of the earlier videos, there is a first video where we mentioned what are the general rules of patenting. Okay. And in the second lecture, we covered what are the inventions that are patentable, because as per the Act, some inventions are not patentable. Okay. So we have covered these things, and we will be doing a little bit more. We'll be covering a little bit more about the recap. See, these are the sections under which Patent Act debars patenting. If it is, for example, the section 3A says if it is a frivolous invention or something against established natural laws, patent will not be granted. Similarly, if any invention that leads to public disorder, like if somebody comes up with an invention to print fake currency, so the patent will not be obviously not granted. So because it is against public morale. So similarly, other sections 3C, mere discovery of scientific principles. E is equal to mc square, that you cannot patent, because if it is get patented, that equation nobody else can use for any purpose. So pure mathematical equations cannot be, or scientific principles cannot be patented. Then the section 4D says mere discovery of a new form of a substance. Suppose there are polymers and there are some other variety of the same substance in different form. Say for example, crystalline form, beta crystalline form. Those things are not patentable because same substance. Novartis, actually a famous case, lost their patent. Their patent was rejected because their invention nothing more than beta crystalline form of the existing chemical, which is already known. Similarly, mere discovery of a mere discovery is not patentable. Suppose you say, I discovered an animal with 3 legs. That will not be naturally occurring. What is naturally occurring is cannot be patented. Similarly, if you bring two chemicals and mix them together and create a new chemical, it is not patentable unless, of course, the mixer have a enhanced properties. Properties here is curative properties. The court judgment says it is the curative value of that mixer. If that is enhanced, then there is a synergy of this mixing, and then patent can be granted. But if it is just physical mixing and there is no enhancement of the properties, patent cannot be granted. Similarly, there is a torchlight and there is a bicycle. And suppose you fix this torchlight to bicycle and claim for invention, it will not be done because two independently working items, just by adding one to another, it cannot be patented. Similarly, any method of agriculture or horticulture cannot be patented because if that is been patented, so all others will be barred from using that method, which is detrimental to the interests of the India, a particular country. So similarly, medical, surgical, diagnostic or curative procedures cannot be given patent, barred. Then section 3J says a known existing naturally occurring plants, animals, seeds, you cannot patent. 3K says a business method or an algorithm or a program per se cannot be patented. 3L says cinema, photographic film, or a art, literary, music. Those things cannot be patented because they are eligible for copyright. Patent cannot be granted for such items. Then mere scheme of playing a game. 3M section 3M says if you describe a method of playing a game, that cannot be patented. Then there is a section 3P which says presentation of information already there, you presented in a particular form, that cannot be patented. Then there is the 3O. That section says topography of integrated circuit, because there is a separate protection for integrated circuits, they cannot be patented. Finally, most important thing is, if it is a traditional knowledge like turmeric has some theoretic values, that cannot be patented because that knowledge is already available in the society. So traditional knowledge cannot be patented. Then patents related to atomic energy or nuclear science cannot be patented. So if your invention falls in one of these sections, you need not apply patent because patent will not be granted. So first thing to ensure is that your invention does not fall in any of these categories. So before filing the patent, what are all the mandatory forms? These 3 forms shall be, so 3 to 4 forms must be filled in, and fee has to be paid for filing a patent. Form 1 is administrative details of patent and who is inventor and who is the patent agent, such things. All administrative details. It will have date of filing and all. Form 2 is the actual technical content, that is specification, abstract, best method of working, claims. So Form 2 is a Form 1 together with Form 2 will be applied for patent in patent office for granting a patent. You have to declare the inventorship in Form 5. And also Form 18. See, simply filing the application in patent office will not fetch you a grant. You have to request for examination of this patent, because all the patents applied, people may not be really interested in getting the patent down the line. So there will be a chance for them to withdraw or even discard or whatever. So those who are serious only will be again come to the patent office. Now it is more than 18 months. My application for patent is published. Now it is time that you kindly examine, like that you have to put a request and you have to pay some fee also for examination. Then what is the fee? Basic fee is 1600 for the basic application, and that application you can give up to 10 claims, and also you can have 30 pages. Whereas this application, this fee is applicable for 4 categories. One is a natural person, second is a small entity or a startup. Small entity means whose investment for setting up that is less than 10 crore. Those industries. Similarly, startup means the date of registration of startup under Startup India scheme. If 5 years are over, it can no longer be called as a startup. It has to follow, obey these rules. Then it is a startup. Then educational institutes, they are also like a natural person. So fees will be only 1600. For all others, it is 4000 basic. Suppose you have more pages than 30 pages, then you have to, for page you have to pay additional fees of 160 rupees. Similarly, if the claims are more than 10, you have to pay rupees 320 for each additional claim. Now this lecture focus on actually drafting the specification for submitting in Form 2. What are all the important features of a complete specification? So these are the important features of the complete specification. Sir, the complete specification. What are all the elements of complete specification? The specification, the first item is title. Title shall be there for the specification, which shall not exceed 15 words. The title of the invention shall also indicate what is the field of technology, so that search will be easier, and also allocation of work for the for this patent to go to a particular examiner in the patent office. They are organized like an engineering college with like mechanical, civil, electrical, like that departments. This particular patent will go to a particular set of examiners where they are having a domain knowledge. So this title will help them to identify to which set of examiners they should go. Then after filling the technical field of invention, we should describe what is existing, what is the prior art. Till this invention is made, what is the prior art that we have to describe. Then we should also give what are the shortcomings observed in that prior art. Then we have to give what problem is solved actually. So this your invention must solve a problem which is not solved here, and it is not very obvious to the person skilled in the art. So that is the minimum condition to grant a patent. So we have to describe what problem this invention solves. Then you have to describe the complete specification, if required, the drawings. And drawings is not compulsory for all the patents. Some generally mechanical inventions have drawings. Other inventions may not be required, but if controller asks you to provide drawings, if controller demands it, control even can also demand a working model if he is not satisfied with the description of the patent. So he can ask normally, if somebody trying to patent a trivial or a perpetual motion machine, then control normally demands such kind of a working model. Please demonstrate as a working model, show me. So such situations only a working model is demanded. Then this patent specification will have detailed description and best method of working. See, your specification shall explain what is the best method of working your invention. If it is not done, it is a ground for rejection. Then finally, most important thing, claims. Claims actually defines the boundary of your invention. You should, what are all you have disclosed in the specification only you can claim. What is not disclosed, you cannot claim. So claims define the boundary of your invention. That is the one only will be protected by the patent. We explain the title. Not more than 15 words, and also shall indicate field of technology. Next important thing is abstract. There shall be an abstract of the entire specification not exceeding 150 words. Actually, the abstract only gets printed in patent office journal. It generally releases every week. So this abstract anybody reads shall be able to understand what is the field of technology in which this particular invention belongs, and what is the advancement compared to over to prior art. So most of the time we need not read entire specification, only abstract we will know what is this invention. If further required only we will go to specification. So far anybody to know what is this basic invention. So this will be helping after publication. People can oppose this grant of patent in a pre-grant opposition. So this abstract shall be indicating about this, what is the field of invention and what is the advancement or the prior art. These two are the minimum things that is expected of this abstract. And it should not be more than 150 words. This is the one which is published in the patent office journal after 18 months, normally after completion of 18 months from the date of filing a patent. But this can be advanced. This publication can be advanced by request from the patent applicant by paying a fee and applying in Form 9. Form 9 is expeditious publication of the patent. So some fees also to be paid. Then this detailed description. Detailed description will completely describe your invention. So, and if necessary, if the drawings are applicable, you have to give the drawings also in this section. Now we have known elements of a drafting. What are the elements? We know title, we know the abstract, we know the drawing, we know the prior art, we know the detailed description of the invention. We also know claims, we also know about best method of working. Now, it is better to see one actual patent, how it is drafted, a granted patent, to appreciate these facts better and learn from that. So, I have taken example of a granted patent to explain all this firsthand so that you can draft your own invention based upon this. So this patent is very well crafted patent. So that's why I selected this patent. But it's simple to understand. This is how the patent award. The patent number 376098 is the patent granted by Indian Patent Office on 31st May 2021. When it was filed somewhere 25/11/2010. Nearly after 10 years, it was granted. So on date of 31st May 2021, it is granted. The filing date is in 2010. So the prosecution ran for nearly 10 years. So not all patents will be taking this much time, but 3 to 4 years is a usual. Normally patents, I see many patents granted in 3 to 4 years time. Now patent office is trying to decrease this time and improve on the timing, and they are trying to do it in 2 or 3 years. So, but usual period currently is 3 to 4 years. This particular patent took 10 years because probably there are many clarifications from patent agent, and there could be some delays from the patent holder to reply within the time limits permitted by the patent office. Of course, if a delay beyond certain limits, patent will be rejected. They will not. They will specify some time. If they ask for a query within 6 months, you are supposed to reply. Like that, some norms are there. This is a patent. You have a symbol of Indian Patent Office and the Government of India stamped in the center, and also there is a nomogram and description of the patent, award of the patent, who is the patentee. All these details were here. So this since mechanical invention and needs help of drawings to explain better. It is a trolley. You could see in figure 1 on the right hand side top. You see figure 1. That is a trolley. Trolley, we know there are many trolleys in operation. So this is nothing new, the trolley. But this particular invention describes a dismantleable, assemblable, and compactable type of a trolley. It can be made into single unit, small trolley, big trolley. You can simply expand or assemble into a single trolley, flexible, expandable, and compressible. That is the invention part of it. There are so many elements: base, elements, levers, arms, wheel, and sidewalls, all this. Each one numbered with this. In the drawing, as per the patent office rules, you are not supposed to write any written English on this. So we should only have numbers. The number shall be described in the detailed specification, but no written English on the drawing itself. You see, this sketch was provided to explain how to dismantle, make it as a single piece, a small trolley from the big trolley. So he used 6 different sketches to give step-by-step procedure. Step 1 is fully expanded trolley. Step 6 is fully assembled trolley. So this he explained the best method of working in 6 steps. So this is a must. How to work your invention. This is a must for giving a grant of patent. You have to describe best method of work. So as I explained, that this particular trolley was provided with the abstract less than 150 words and given what is the advancement over the existing prior art, and also it is told what is the field of invention. Okay. So this abstract was published in the Patent of Journal when this application came up for a publication. So it was described. See, not so many parts were there. You see, in the abstract, some parts, important parts only shown, but in the detailed descriptions, many parts were shown. This is shown only in the assembled way, just to get an idea what is this item. This is the field of invention. This says the invention relates to a utility trailer for transportation and storage of goods and articles that can be used using its full bed length as a large trailer, or it can be folded to make it smaller for easy storage, and also when you want to transport only minimum number of goods. This is the invention. It is a mechanical invention. And there is one line item called background of invention. So this background generally describes what made this invention to be useful, in the sense earlier what is there and what made the inventor to think and make this invention. So that is the before that what is there, the background which necessitated this invention rather. So there is a background. Then there is one summary of invention. This is not a must, but people write this so that in few words we'll know about the complete invention. This is the very useful part of the patent drafting paragraph. The present invention provides a market need for a trailer that allows of a variable selection between a large or a short trailer, as well as need to fold for storing, or when it is not used, it will occupy very small space. So this is the total invention in a summary. It is very useful for understanding the invention by a common man. Summary of invention. So the complete specification should be described in the description part of it. It generally runs over 10 to 15 pages minimum, or in some cases it will exceed even 30-40 pages. So they will completely describe the invention, so that anybody reads this who is skilled in this art can make this invention work. So you can actually manufacture this trolley reading this. So that much full description shall be given. Full disclosure is a must for grant of patent. If the full disclosure is not there, there is no patent. I have taken only extract of this patent, otherwise it will be running into 30-40 pages. I took some important part of it for just explaining how to write the description of the invention. If drawings are used, as I explained, drawings are not a must for all the patents to be filed, but some mechanical inventions will have the drawings. Drawings are useful in explaining the invention better. So if you use the drawing, on the drawing we should not write any English. No, there is no description things on the drawing. We should rather write that description in the specification part of it by cross-referring that numbers there. It is seen this details on a drawing. It called figure 1 and elements of the figure 1 is explained. Similarly, it called each figure and explain what it contains. Then most important part of the patent drafting, it is claim writing. Claims we have to write very carefully. We should not have very narrow claims, so that with this little modification your competitor or would-be infringer can overcome your patent and make your invention and sell. So if it is too narrow, but if it is too broad, there is risk of it is overlapping on prior art or some other invention. So it should not be too narrow or too broad. It should be reasonably broad. So you should use some ingenious ways of broadening your claims, but at the same time ensuring you are not overstepping onto prior art or some other granted patents. So it is claims can be one or many. Claims can be two types: dependent claim or independent claim. The first claim normally is independent claim, and the latter we can have further claims on the variants of the first claim, which is a independent claim. There can be few dependent claims on the first claim, which is an independent claim. Example, the original independent claim uses steel ball for rolling the trolley. So the variant of this, instead of a steel ball, we can use a rubber ball or ebonite ball. So that can be a dependent claim. Claim number 2 uses a rubber ball in place of a steel ball. Claim number 3 can be a ebonite metal type of ball instead of steel ball of the claim 1. So we can have many variations and have many dependent claims. Also, it is interesting to note there can be a process claim and a product claim. This particular invention is a product claim, a trolley, but one can have a process claim of how to manufacture these trolleys. If it is a method is new and merits patenting, normally chemical inventions, particular chemical as a product can be patented, and also the method of making that chemical. So that is a process claim. Product and process both claims can be there. So like that claims we have to very intelligently put it. While writing claims, few precautions like you can only have claim to what you described in the specification. If there is no disclosure in the specification, you cannot claim that. Some way you have to relate your claim to what you disclosed in the invention. So that is a step you should ensure. Similarly, the claims are usually written in a single sentence. Claims are not broken into many sentences. It's a practice that it is a single sentence. So, anything in the claim first time mentioned will be, you have to describe the term. Then later on, when it is once again referred, you can say the said bracket. Originally, you should say this is the bracket number 1, that is what holding the trolley. But after that, in the second or third claim, same thing you are repeating. It's the set bracket, you can say. The set bracket had described in claim 1 by figure 1. So like that you can cross refer and relate to that first claim. So that is one way of writing the claim. Generally, claim writing is actually derived from a problem solution statement. Each invention is expected to solve a problem of the society. So if generally what they ask is what problem it solve. So the solution part of it is claim. This is interesting to note that this is a covering letter when they completed the patent and granted. This is the first sheet put onto the patent. The specification, drawing, everything is what indentor has given. But the first sheet prepared by the patent office, it has you see that specification title. It has it is showing one PCT, means patent cooperation treaty. This particular patent was prosecuted under patent cooperation treaty, means it's an international application. So it is processed under patent cooperation treaty, means simultaneously the same application was used to get patent in other countries as well. And there is a classification of this patent B62B 3/02. That is a classification of patent. If you type search in the WIPO, WIPO, the patent world intellectual property organization page with this B62B, what are all this kind of patents similar to this are related to this kind of mechanical invention will be listed in that. So some kind of a codification is achieved by this numbering. And if it is an international application is there, what is the international application? Here international application number is PCT CA20. And what is the international filing date? International filing date is treated like India when they filed as a PCT. It will be treated like same date of filing in all the other countries, even though on that same date is not filed. In one of the patent cooperation countries, if you file under PCT cooperation treaty, so the same date of preference is given. It will be treated like the application is filed simultaneously in these 10-15 countries on the same day. So that gives you won't lose novelty by that by this arrangement. Otherwise, suppose you file in India and after 6 months you go to another country to file. Suppose by the time India it is published, then novelty is lost. This information is known to the public in that country already. Then publishing language English. Then it is told priority date. What is the priority date? Then who is the applicant? There is Leonardo E. He is the applicant. Then also, if any agent is there, agent name also written. Agent Go1 intellectual property. That is the agent name. So similarly, there are other information, useful information in the first page. This gives a lot of information about the granted patent. This classification also helps in searching more scientifically. The search instead of title, they search with this classification. B6 to B, they'll search what are all the inventions related to this will come in a list, so that you can check prior art whether this patent supposed to be proposed patent is already existing or not. So it will help in prior art search. Now we come to end of our discussion. We would like to recap what we learned in this section. In this lecture, we learned the basics of patent drafting. In earlier two lectures talked about the general rules of the patent. Second lecture we covered what inventions are patentable, what inventions are not. Then we also covered various aspects of patent drafting, like you should have a title, you should have a abstract, you should have a detailed description, you should have drawings if required, and you should have a prior art, you should be having summary. All these important features of the invention was covered in this. And also we discussed what is the limitation of title. So title shall not exceed 15 words, and it should convey which field, this field of technology this patent belongs. Then we also learned about how to write abstract. The abstract, we discussed that it shall not exceed more than 150 words. The abstract is useful for publication. Actually, the entire patent specification will not be printed when the patent office publishes this. It publishes only the abstract of it, which gives enough indication to the pre-grant opposees and other people that what is all about this invention. But if somebody wants the full details of the specification, claims and all, they can come to patent office, pay some fee and take copy of it. Some 15 rupees, some such fee they'll charge. They'll give complete copy of the patent file. So then we have indicated how to describe the drawing. We explained that drawing should not have any written description on the drawing itself. It is on another page, the part of description. The drawing page only will have numbers. The numbers will be crossed over in the writing part of it, and the numbers what it indicates will be explained. That is and the drawing will have signature of the both the patentee and the patent agent. And the important feature of the description is we have to explain the best method of working. In the particular case of this particular invention, the author of this patent has explained how to dismantle the trolley or reassemble the trolley with the help of six number of sketches. How to combine this bigger trolley to make it a small trolley and vice versa. They explained with the help of 6 sketches. That is considered the best explained, that is the author explained the best method of working. Finally, we learned how to draft the claims. Claims is the most important part of it. Under the claims, we learned that claims shall not be very broad and at the same time should not be too narrow. If it is too narrow, then some others will do minor improvement and take away benefits of your patent and easily infringe. But if it is too broad, you may run into the prior art already existing, so that can be a ground for rejection of your patent. So we have to be very careful. We should not run into prior art English, and we should not be too narrow. So there the intelligence, right, experience counts. So the normally we give what are all things. Suppose we write 3 4 claims, the patent agents by virtue of his knowledge in the field, and also the way patent office procedures he is thorough with, he will normally expand these 3 claims to 5 or 6 more claims, so that it will be useful for the facing the infringement proceedings later on, because infringement can occur after 10 years. So patent documents were written today but to be read in future. So we have to future ready. The patent documentation shall be future ready. After 10 years I read, it should be meaning to that day. That day, what is the state of art? It should be meaningful to that day. So that's why patent drafting is a art and science both. Then the claims, we also took the caution that whatever disclosed in the patent specification only to be claimed. If it is not disclosed, we should not put in the claim. So with this caution and with this recap, we complete this lecture. Hope you will practice few patent drafting, taking example of a granted patent. Take a granted patent in your field and read it, and try to write the claims. Don't read the claims first. Read the specification. Try to draft claims your own from the specification, and also don't read the title. You write the title for this invention. Then there is a best way of practicing it. If you do some couple of such practicing that, writing the title and the claim for the patent, you are thorough with it, and you can consider that you know what is patent drafting. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.